just started the stream.
Knight Uretsky here with Ryan Milano, and welcome to George Sparky Anderson Field as the Conejo Oaks, they're facing off against the Coastal Cubs today. The Oaks, they're 4-1 entering this game to round out the week. This is a non-league game, but the Oaks, they took two big ones against the Blues in the past 2 days. And right now we're going to jump right to the action. Donovan Waitman, he's going to be starting on the mound for the Oaks. He's set to face off against Brandon Lawrence, the catcher, to start this game as the first pitch to him misses inside. 1-0. Brandon Lawrence, Ethan Royal, Taylor Trachtenberg, Oliver McGibbon, Moses Dokes, Nick Seiler, Jordan Harris, Hayden Smith, and Aiden Johnson will be the lineup for the Coastal Cubs as the 1-0 misses low. It's now 2-0 to Brandon Lawrence. Defensively for the Oaks, you have Hunter Call in left field, Raul Sandoval in center field, TJ Foreman in right field as the 2-0 pitch from Waitman. That one's fouled off by Lawrence. The count now 2-1. Greg Melhoff, the new third baseman for the Oaks. He's a new player for the Oaks. He's from Pepperdine. Grant Smith, he's going to be the shortstop. Zach Gregory, the second baseman. Brendan Bobo at first base. And the catcher today, Andrew Sharp, who got the start yesterday. The 2-1, that one catches the zone in the middle of the plate. The count even 2-2 to Brandon Lawrence. And the Oaks, they're playing the Cubs today. The Cubs, they came in and beat the Oaks at this ballpark a couple weeks ago. It was a surprise as the Oaks, they were leading 3-1 before the Cubs scored 9 unanswered runs to go up 10-3 as a strikeout for Donovan Waitman starts this game. He bounces back from a 2-0 count, 3 straight strikes for a strikeout, and one is gone. So the Cubs, they came in, they scored 9 unanswered runs, was leading at 10-3. The Oaks, they mounted a comeback late in that game, and they almost were able to come back. It was 10-8 by the final, but Brendan Bobo, he had a bat where he had struck out with the bases loaded, and the Oaks ended up losing that game 10-8, and the Cubs got the upset as the first pitch to Ethan Royal is fouled off foul to the right side. 0-1 to Ethan Royal.
Royal, he did not appear in the game against the Conejo Oaks the time that the Cubs did get the win. He's at right field today.
So Waitman, he's set with a 0-1 count. The pitch is in there for a strike. So 0-2 to Ethan Royal. 5 straight strikes from Waitman after starting out with 2 balls. 0-2 the count, nobody on, 1 out. The pitch from Waitman, this one's lined to the second baseman Gregory, and Royals retired. And L4, and 8 pitches in and 2 outs for Waitman.
And Donovan Waitman, his strategy in this game, I talked to him before the game. He said he just wants to throw first pitch strikes and command the changeup, and that's exactly what he's doing. In that count, we saw 2 changeups. We saw a few in the strikeout to Brandon Lawrence, and that lineout was on another off-speed pitch. That was right to Zach Gregory. So right now, early, Waitman is locating that off-speed pitch.
Taylor Trachtenberg, the DH, he's up to the plate. The first pitch he sees, he takes, and it's called for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to Trachtenberg. The last time we saw Donovan Waitman, that was on Tuesday against the Barons. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, only allowed 1 run, but had 8 strikeouts in that game as Trachtenberg fouls it away. 0-2 to Taylor Trachtenberg. He only had 8 strikeouts going into that game against the Barons, but doubled his strikeout total for the year with those 8 strikeouts. He was the player of the game. It was a toss-up between him and Raul Sandoval for the player of the game. We went with Waitman, and now he's back for the second time this week as the 0-2 is a fastball that misses high. 1-2 to Taylor Trachtenberg.
And it's hard not to give someone the player of the game when they strike out 8 of the 15 batters that they face in terms of the outs that they get in the game.
Faced 22 batters overall in that game as he got 15 outs. A swing and a miss from Trachtenberg. The second K of the day for Donovan Waitman, and a 1-2-3 inning for the Cubs batting-wise. We head to the bottom of the first inning, still tied 0-0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Bottom of the first inning, the Oaks a 1-2-3 inning for Donovan Waitman to start this game. That included 2 strikeouts and a line out. Now leading off for the Oaks will be TJ Foreman. The Oaks, their batting order, TJ Foreman, Zach Gregory, Brendan Bobo. Grant Smith not in the leadoff today. He's cleaning up. He's back in that 4 spot. Brendan Durfee, the DH, he's batting 5th. Greg Melhoff, the 3rd baseman, he's going to be in the 6th spot. Raul Sandoval, Andrew Sharp, and Hunter Call round out the lineup. As the first pitch to Foreman is lined into center field. Coming over and make the play is Johnson, and 1 is gone on the first pitch to TJ Foreman.
Yeah, an interesting lineup shakeup here for Dave Solis. Grant Smith, the typical #1 hitter that we've seen throughout the entirety of this week, he was moved out of that spot. TJ Foreman moved back into the 1 slot. And the way that Grant Smith has been swinging the bat as of late, I don't think that changing the routine in any way would be beneficial for the way that Grant Smith has been hitting. But TJ Foreman, the more typical, at least in terms of play style, 1-hole hitter, back up into that leadoff spot.
So now coming up to the plate is Zach Gregory. He's set to face off against Tristan Perrin, the pitcher for the Cubs, as the first pitch to Gregory is an off-speed pitch called for a strike to Gregory, 0-1. And Tristan Perrin, he comes in. He's originally from Thousand Oaks, went to Thousand Oaks High School, so playing in his hometown here against the Oaks. Currently goes to Concordia University, Irvine, as the 0-1 pitch to Gregory is swung on in the dirt, 0-2 to Gregory. Initially, he went to Whitman College. That's over in Santa Barbara, I believe. He pitched 12 2/3 inning and 9 appearances there at Whitman. He struck out 7 batters while walking 7 and had 1 save during his time at Whitman.
Didn't Eric Marr also pitch at Whitman?
Actually, yeah, you're right. Whitman actually is in Walla Walla, Washington, as this one's lined the other way. A diving play in left field by McGibbon. Wow!
And McGibbon just laying out for that ball on the line. He thought that had a chance to get down for a base hit. Then you thought it was tailing foul, but McGibbon, he goes full extension to get the second out.
Yeah, so Whitman, I believe, is actually in Walla Walla. That's where Eric Ma went. I was thinking of Westmont, which is in Santa Barbara. Got the 2 schools mixed up. But anyway, so he went to Whitman. Then he transferred, went to Santa Barbara City College, as now he's going to face off against Brendan Bobo. At City College, he pitched 26 innings and 10 appearances while starting 3 games, as the first pitch to Bobo misses in the dirt, 1-0. While in that appearance at Santa Barbara City College, he struck out 21 batters while walking 18. He finished with an 0-2 record at City College, and this past year he transferred to Concordia University, Irvine, but he did not play and he redshirted. Bobo swings and fouls one away. The count even 1-1 to Brendan Bobo. So Tristan Perrin is now going to be at his 3rd school after transferring from Whitman to SBCC and now to Concordia University, Irvine. And now he's playing his college ball with the Coastal Cubs. And he has 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning as he's facing off against the power hitter Brendan Bobo. The 1-1. Bobo lines it foul down the right field line. Hooked very foul, but the exit velocity was high. 1-2 the count to Brendan Bobo.
Let's talk about his day yesterday a little bit, because he almost got player of the game yesterday. It was a lot of discussion over whether he should be the player of the game or whether it would go to the eventual winner, Reagan Burford. Bobo, a big 3-run home run in yesterday's performance.
The 1-2, Bobo sends this to center field, shallow center field, going back is Seiler, and he's not going to get it. The shortstop was ranging into shallow center field. He couldn't corral it, and Brendan Bobo, a 2-out single.
And right there, Bobo, we've seen him barrel up the ball a few times this season. Right there, not able to barrel it up, but was able to muscle it off the end of the bat, and that's exactly what you need to do with 2 outs. Just find a way on board any way possible. And now it's headed to the hottest hitter of the Oaks, at least this week, and that's Grant Smith.
So Grant Smith, like you mentioned, the hottest hitter for the Oaks, he steps in with Brendan Bobo on first base, 2 outs in the inning, and he's set to face off against the right-hander Tristan Perrin. As the first pitch to Grant Smith, he takes it. It's for a strike, 0-1 to Grant Smith. And Grant Smith in conference play, he's batting .339. Overall in the season, he's batting .310, so a very solid performance offensively for Grant Smith, and he has a hit in each of his games this week, dating back to the game against the Barons, as he takes another strike, 0-2 to Grant Smith. Yesterday, though, his probably worst performance of the week. He had 3 strikeouts despite going 1 for 4 with 2 runs and a walk.
He got on base twice, and that extends his streak of getting on base twice ever since he was established as that leadoff hitter.
Smith grounds this to the third baseman Harris. The throw across the diamond can't get picked by the first baseman Dokes. Heading to third is Bobo. They're still going and corralling the ball. Finally, Dokes picks up the ball. Bobo to third. Grant Smith to second on the air.
Yeah, and right there for Grant Smith, it's just running up the line, forcing a tough play at third base, and being able to make a tough play even tougher for Harris over at third base, trying to speed up the throw and get Smith down the line. And just a tough hop for the first baseman in Dokes' order to pick. He wasn't able to, and it allows for both runners to keep advancing.
Snap to the plate is going to be Brendan Durfee, the DH. He's batting in the 5 spot today. And back-to-back runners for the Oaks, they get on. So Brendan Bobo on third base, Grant Smith on second base, 2 outs, and Brendan Durfee at the plate. The first pitch to Durfee bounces in the dirt, 1-0 to Durfee. And Durfee this season in conference play is batting .286, batting .222 overall on the year. Does have an on-base percentage of .400, as he's been able to walk 6 times on the season. The 1-0 to Durfee, that one misses outside. 2-0 to Brendan Durfee. Durfee, his last time he played, that was against the Blues on July 9th. That was 2 days ago. He went 1 for 2 in that game with a run being scored and 2 RBIs. The 2-0, that one does catch the zone, and it's now 2-1 to Brendan Durfee.
He went 1 for 2, but he had 3 well-executed at-bats. A sacrifice fly to drive in the first run of the game in the first inning, then an RBI single in the third where he eventually came around to score, and then in the 8th, he walked, kept that inning alive, and then 4 batters later, Cody Sulak, he had the biggest hit of the day.
The 2-1, that one bounces. Did he go? No, he did not. And the count now 3-1 to Brendan Durfee. So only 6 walks on the year for Brendan Durfee. If he gets another ball here, he could be headed to first for his 7th walk, and that would load the bases for Greg Melhoff, who's the new addition to the Conejo Oaks. But right now, the count 3-1, 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. As Brendan Bobo, he's on third, and Grant Smith on second. Times is called as Durfee puts 1 foot out of the box and now back into the box. We're all squared away. 3-1, Perrin on the mound. The 3-1 pitch. Durfee grounds this to the second baseman, Smith. He fields it, throws over to first in time to get Durfee, and the inning is over. So 2 runs are left stranded after 1 hit. That was a single from Brendan Bobo, and an error that was on the third baseman, Harris, and that'll do it for the first inning. We head to the top of the second inning, tied 0-0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream, presented by KDTV. Top of the second inning, the Oaks, they're still tied 0-0 to the Coastal Cubs. Donovan Waitman still on the mound. Top of the second inning, he had a 1-2-3 inning to start with 2 strikeouts and a line out. The first pitch to Oliver McGibbon, That one misses outside, 1-0 to McGibbon. So in that first inning, he struck out Brandon Lawrence to start, had a line out to Ethan Royal, and then Taylor Trachtenberg, he struck out to end the inning. Only 12 pitches in the whole inning for Waitman, and 3 outs. The 1-0 pitch, this one's lined to the third baseman, Melhoff. He throws across the diamond, and man, what a play for Melhoff.
And what a way to start for Greg Melhoff. The first time that he's gotten any action as an Oak. It's a hot corner play. He makes the pick at third, and he's accustomed to third base at Pepperdine. He plays there as well as first base. He's played some second base. Right there shows that he is no stranger to the hot corner.
Melhoff, his first game with the Oaks, coming over to play with a depleted infield that has featured a lot of injuries. But now he solidified himself in this first game as the third baseman against the Cubs, and a heck of a dig to start his career as a Conejo Oak, as the first pitch misses low to Moses Stokes, 1-0.
Yeah, and Melhoff was a needed addition to the infield. You've seen a few patchwork pieces to the infield so far this season due to a few of the injuries that the Oaks have had.
Foul off by Dokes, the count even 1-1.
So Lauren Frank, he was a corner infielder. He, in the first week of the season, he had an injury to his hamstring that he's still nursing. Hopefully he's trying to come back soon. And then we've seen so far this season third base be a position that needs to be filled by a lot of players.
The 1-1 swung on and missed by Dokes. Waitman got him swinging silly. Count 1-2.
We've seen Brendan Bobo at third base, Robert Capozzi slip over to third base. Both of their normal positions is over at first. We've also seen Caden Suji play at third. We've seen Grant Smith move over to the hot corner a few times where Zach Gregory or Cody Sulak has had to play second base. Gregory, he's a typical left fielder, and Sulak a typical catcher.
As the 1-2 gets Dokes looking, the third strikeout of the day for Donovan Waitman, and he backs up his 8 strikeout performance with a 3 strikeout performance through the first 5 batters.
So adding a little bit of infield help for the Oaks, I think, is a necessity in terms of defense. Right now, Zach Gregory, he's still in on the infield, where JT Naviak, he's getting his day off. Typically, the formation defensively for the Oaks.
As the first pitch to Nick Seiler, that one catches his own 1-0.
It would be, with the addition of Melhoff at third base, would be Naviak at short, Smith at second, and then probably Gregory playing left field.
This one's fouled off by Seiler. The count 0-2 to Nick Seiler.
And it adds a little bit more outfield depth as well because Gregory can move out to the outfield. And we've seen Raul Sandoval and TJ Foreman, they've been everyday players for the Oaks. Hunter Call and Austin Carrillo have been switching off on that third outfielder spot. If Gregory has the ability to move out to the outfield, then the Oaks, they have even more outfield depth.
The 0-2 is a curveball that missed outside from Waitman, so the count now 1-2.
And you saw Waitman tap his chest after that pitch, looking into Andrew Sharp, saying, that was my bad. He left the slider a little too far off the plate.
So the 1-2 pitch from Waitman, that one bounces in the dirt. Sharp can't corral it, goes to the back of the backstop, but nobody on, and a 2-2 count to Nick Seiler.
And the same thing happened just there, where a slider that ran a little bit too much on Waitman. He's gone back to that pitch twice. He doesn't normally throw the slider. He says that's the fourth pitch in his arsenal. He's much more of a curveball pitcher if he's going to slow things down.
This one's grounded to Melhoff. He fields it, throws across the diamond. The play is made. Another 1-2-3 inning for Donovan Waitman, and we head to the bottom of the second inning, still tied. You are listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Night Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Bottom of the second inning, the Oaks, they left 2 runners stranded in scoring position after Brendan Durfee grounded out to the second baseman, and that was the end of the first inning for the Oaks batting-wise. Greg Melhoff, he's going to step up to the plate for his first plate appearance as an Oak. He fouls off the first pitch, and it's now 0-1 to Melhoff. Melhoff, he's originally from Portland, Oregon, went to Clackamas High School. It's up in the Pacific Northwest, where Ryan and I both go to college. Melhoff, though, he goes and plays at Pepperdine down in Malibu. As he swings at the second pitch to him, he grounds it to the second baseman Smith over to first, and Melhoff is retired as his first plate appearance as a Conejo Oak. So now coming up to the plate is Raul Sandoval, the center fielder. He stands in to face against Tristan Perrin with 1 out and nobody on. Sandoval batting .097 on the year in conference play as he swings and gets a single up the middle. So Raul Sandoval, despite the poor hitting all season, gets a single to start here against the Coastal Cubs.
Yeah, that's just a good piece of hitting from Raul Sandoval. He's able to get a board. He's able to punch it up the middle and stay down on the ball. The problem with Sandoval a few times this season is he's just been able to get underneath the ball, and that's where he's been missing right there. Stays on top, drives one up the middle, gets a board with a base hit.
So now coming up to the plate is Andrew Sharp, the catcher. Sharp batting in the 8th spot today. Yesterday, he had a huge hit. He was up for contention for player of the game before Reagan Burford hit the grand slam. He was actually the number 2 spot for the player of the game between him and Brendan Bobo. He ended up finishing 3rd as the first pitch to him is called for a strike, 0-1. And Sharp in that game yesterday against the Blues, he had a bases clearing double. He had a ball rocketed off the first base bag and went into the outfield. 3 runners were on. They all came and scored, and it was a crucial hit in the game and a big hit for Andrew Sharp. As the 0-1 misses, count even 1-1 to Andrew Sharp. Sharp this season, he's batting .250 in conference play, .226 overall with an on-base percentage of .314. He's catching today. We've seen him in left field and the infield as he skies the 1-1 into shallow center field. Heading over is the shortstop Seiler. He makes the play, and 2 are gone here in the second.
Yeah, and Andrew Sharp, he's been getting run pretty much everywhere, but he's been the most typical secondary catcher, not named Anson Arrows. He's making his way to the showcase game. That game is going to be this Wednesday. So in just a few days, we will see Anson Arrows show off his talents. He's had a few days off as he had a natural day off, and then he's trying to prepare for that showcase game.
Snap to the plate, Hunter Call. He's going to be playing left field today as Sandoval goes on the first pitch. The ball low and away, the throw to second. Got him! Raul Sandoval's caught stealing on a perfect throw from Lawrence, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 inning in an unconventional way for Tristan Perrin, and that'll do it for the second inning. We're still tied, heading to the third. You were listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Knight Uretsky, Ryan Milano with you. Top of the third inning. Donovan Waitman back-to-back 1-2-3 innings to start. So far today, 3 strikeouts after that 8 strikeout performance in his last time he pitched. That was on Tuesday against the Barons. The first pitch misses low, 1-0 to Jordan Harris. And Donovan Waitman, he's had an unconventional way to being a pitcher. He started his career in college at Barton College, that was in North Carolina, then transferred back to Pierce College, and now he's playing with the Oaks, looking for a new home. Has a potential offer to go play D2 baseball after this summer, as it's fouled off by Jordan Harris. The count even 1-1. But the way that he started pitching wasn't until his senior year of high school. Waitman, he's originally from Santa Clarita, went to Bishop Alemany High School in Mission Hills. And at Mission Hills, he went there to play football. His brother had played football there, and so that's why he went to play football. As the 1-1 misses outside, the count now 2-1. So initially, he was playing football at Bishop Alemany. He was a linebacker and wide receiver there up until his junior year of high school, when they asked him, "Can you throw a football?" And he said, "Yeah, I can throw a football. I can throw a spiral pretty well." As this one's fouled off by Harris, the count even 2-2. So he started throwing the football. He became the quarterback of the JV team during his junior year. And after throwing a football consistently for a whole year, he realized that he could throw a baseball a lot harder. Initially, he was pitching just every now and then for his baseball team, as the 2-2 pitch is fouled away by Harris. We'll do the 2-2 again. But initially, he was throwing about 82, 83 miles per hour. But right after his junior year of throwing a football as a quarterback the whole time, his speed elevated and went up to 88, 89 miles per hour. And that's how he got his first offer to Barton College, as this one's grounded to the third baseman, Melhoff. He's had a lot of action as he throws across the diamond, a 5-3 play for the third time today, and Harris is retired.
Yeah, and right there you saw Waitman. He was ducking behind the pitcher's mound like a sniper, as Melhoff had to throw across the diamond trying to get out of the way. It's the first time I've seen a pitcher crouch and use the mound as protection to get out of the way of a throw. Not to take away from your story. I'm incredibly interested.
Yeah, so Waitman, he started throwing. He had a couple of great performances as a quarterback. He said one game he threw for over 300 yards and ran for over 100 yards, as the first pitch is called for a strike to Hayden Smith, 0-1 to him. That performance was against Oaks Christian, and so he was the JV quarterback. He was the backup quarterback for varsity during his junior year, as the 0-1 pitch misses outside, count even 1-1. Also, during that junior year, he was the long snapper on the team as well as the PAT holder, but he really credits playing football his junior year as a quarterback to being that story, as this one's the first hit of the day for the Cubs. Hayden Smith rips one down the left field line. He's headed for second for a double. The throw comes in from Call, and in there safely is Hayden Smith at second, and a one-out double for the Cubs.
And right there, that's a ground ball. You can't do anything about that. It wasn't even too sharply hit. It just got right down the line. And Melhoff, he was playing a little bit shaded off the line at that third base bag. And right there, if you're Waitman, that's not even that hard hit of a ball. It's a single, or it's a double rather, but it's not a hit that I think you're too concerned about giving up. But it is now a runner in scoring position.
So now coming up to the plate is Aiden Johnson, the outfielder. He's going to be the center fielder today as he swings at the first pitch to him. That one's lifted high in the air in the infield. Coming in is Grant Smith. He makes the play, and Aiden Johnson's retired on the first pitch to him. So now two are gone with a runner on second and Hayden Smith.
And you look at Waitman, and I'm a little bit surprised. I haven't heard the story from him. I'll have to ask him about it. I'm a little bit surprised because you look at him, and he's one of the smaller members of the team. And, I mean, baseball players, they're generally taller than football players, so I guess that makes a little bit of sense. But Waitman is listed on the stat sheet. He's 6 feet tall, 190, and I've stood next to him, and I think that 6 feet tall might be a little bit generous towards him. He's not towering in any way, shape, or form, but, I mean, he's taller than I am. But not someone who you would expect is physically imposing to play football, and he was very successful at it based on what you're telling me.
Yeah, I mean, he was a linebacker, and he was a wide receiver initially, and then actually, I think I missed a part. During his sophomore year, for one JV game, they put him in there at the last game of the season. He threw 3 touchdowns, and that's how he got the backup quarterback job his junior year, and they just put him as the JV quarterback after that performance, as 1-0 the count to Brandon Lawrence. So going back to his junior year, he gets the offer from Barton College. During his senior year, he quits football. His dad was a football coach at Alemany. His dad was fired, so then he didn't have to stay after school and play football anymore. So he started sticking to baseball as the 1-0 to Lawrence misses. It's now 2-0. And so he started sticking to baseball. Then he got hurt during his senior year of his baseball season, so he only had the offer to Barton. That's where he left and went to North Carolina for a year. Things didn't work out there, as playing D2 baseball in North Carolina wasn't what he imagined. So he transferred back, went to College of the Canyons initially, as the 2-0 catches the zone for a strike to Brandon Lawrence. They count 2-1. Then got a call from his old hitting coach when he was 6 years old. He was a coach at Pierce College, and he said, "Donovan, come pitch for me, and I can take you places." So Waitman went to Pierce College, and the rest is history. Now with the Oaks, he has a couple of D2 offers, but he's looking for a D1 offer now as he steps off the mound. Does not throw back to second, and we're still with a 2-1 count with 2 outs.
And I think Waitman deserves a D1 offer. The way that he's been pitching this season, I thought that he was a snub for the showcase game. He was certainly one of the Oaks that was just on the fringe of getting there. There were a few that didn't make it. 6 did make it, and I think that Waitman is certainly one of them that could have gone either way, especially the way that he has been throwing the rock this season. So far on the year, his last performance being his best. We mentioned the 8 strikeouts, the player of the game against the Academy Barons. But every single game he's pitched in, the Oaks have gotten the win, and he hasn't had a shutout performance yet, but he has not let up more than 3 runs in any outing yet this season as well.
So the 2-1 pitch was called for a strike, so the count's even 2-2, and the pitch is lined to Gregory, the second baseman. He fields it on one hop, throws it over to first. The play is made, and Lawrence is retired, so that'll do it for the top of the 3rd inning. 1 hit on the Hayden Smith double, but he's left stranded there. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Oaks, they're still tied 0-0. You're listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream, presented by KDTV. Still a 0-0 tied here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Hunter Call, he's going to lead it off. He saw 1 pitch in the last inning. Then it was thrown down to second by the catcher Lawrence. They caught Raul Sandoval stealing, and that ended the bottom of the 2nd inning for the Oaks as the first pitch to Call misses. A ball bounced in the dirt, 1-0. The first ball that Call saw, it was a ball that bounced in the dirt as well. And so now he starts with it at 1-0 count against Tristan Perrin. The 1-0. Call hits that one high and deep to left field. Going back is McGibbon, the left fielder. Doesn't get to it. It's off the wall. Call, he's headed to second. He now taps on second, headed to third. The throw coming in from Seiler. The throw not in time, and Hunter Call a triple.
And you thought that one had a chance to get out, and so did I. That one was crushed off the bat of Hunter Call with the wind fighting it off. It was right down the line, and it hit about 324 feet. It hit halfway up the wall, and Hunter Call able to use his speed to get into third. He thought he was going to stop at second, but Call been aggressive on the base paths all season long, and right there it pays off with a leadoff triple.
Hunter Call, that's his second triple of the season with the Oaks. And now up to the plate is TJ Foreman, the leadoff man, as he stands in with a runner on third. And nobody out as the first pitch to him misses the zone 1-0. And TJ Foreman, his first time up, he saw one pitch and sent it right back to the center fielder, Johnson. Johnson able to cover and make the play. And Foreman was retired for the first out in the bottom of the first for the Oaks. The 1-0, that one misses in the dirt. It's like 2-0. Call, he's at third after the triple, but Foreman this season, he's batting .259 in conference play, .275 overall. Has an on-base percentage of .301 on the season. As the 2-0, Foreman sends the opposite way, coming in and making a low catch is Royal. Call, he's not going to tag, and one is gone on the fly out from Foreman.
And right there, I think it was poor base running on the part of Hunter Call. He had a few steps off. It was a flare out to right. It could have dropped or it could have not. But Call has the speed where even if that is a one-hop, he would probably be able to score if it was fielded cleanly in right field by Royal. And even on a crow hop, a perfect throw to the plate, still probably wouldn't have beaten Call. But he was a few steps off the bag, and now the line drive to the outfield for Foreman doesn't result in anything. Now there's one down, and Perrin is quicker to getting out of this inning with a leadoff runner on third base.
So after Call tripled, Foreman flies out, and now with one out, Zach Gregory steps up to the plate. He's set to face Perrin for the second time as the first pitch is blocked in the dirt by Lawrence. 1-0 the count to Gregory. Gregory, his first time up, he flew out to the left fielder, McGibbon. That was the second out in the first, but stands in right now with a runner on third and one out and a chance to put the Oaks ahead. The 1-0 pitch, that one catches the zone, a late call from the umpire. The count even 1-1, and Gregory this season, he's batting .171, although he will tell you that his batting average is higher than that. His on-base percentage, though, his on-base percentage is .491, which is remarkable as he fouls off the 1-1 pitch. The count now 1-2 to Gregory. Gregory this season, he has 15 bases on balls. He's also been hit by a pitch many times. And he's been able to find first base in a lot of different ways. Like I said, his on-base percentage at .491. It's been around 500 for most of the season. 0 for 1 today, has a 1-2 count. The pitch from Perrin. Got him looking. Zach Gregory sent down looking. That's his 8th strikeout of the year, and Perrin, that's his first strikeout of the game.
And that's why it's so crucial that Hunter Call could not advance after that fly ball to right field, because now there's 2 outs in the inning, and it puts a lot of pressure on Brendan Bobo to get a hit. But Brendan Bobo, in non-conference play, has been absolutely lethal. Through the 4 games that he's appeared in non-conference play, he's a .643 batting average, and that average in the non-conference is a big reason why he's representing the CCL in the showcase game.
So 2 outs. The first pitch to Brendan Bobo is in there for a strike. 0-1 to Brendan Bobo. Bobo's first time up, he hit the single. He was left stranded on third after Grant Smith reached on an error that advanced both runners 2 bases. As Bobo foul tips a ball, he goes down 0-2 to Perrin.
Yeah, and now behind in the count is Brendan Bobo, and we've seen him a few times on the season be susceptible to the strikeout. And also for Tristan Perrin, it has a lot at his disposal that he's able to bring to the plate right here. Bobo, he struck out 17 times on the season. That is the 3rd most on the Oaks.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss in the dirt. The ball gets behind the catcher Lawrence. Heading to first is Bobo. Now scoring his Call, and a strikeout for Bobo, but a run comes in on the drop third strike. The Oaks, they take the lead. It's 1-0.
Yeah, so the strikeout happened, but it didn't matter. The RBI happened anyways. Right there, an off-speed pitch in the dirt, and right there we saw the catcher in Lawrence not be able to block it, and that's a big reason why. The pitch was well executed by Perrin. It got a swing and a miss. Bobo was able to go down swinging, but right there the ball just squirted off the pads of Lawrence and shot down towards the Oaks dugout, and Brendan Bobo recognized it and was fast enough to scamper down the baseline before he was able to get thrown out at first.
So now coming up to the plate is Grant Smith. Brendan Bobo on first base after the potential third out of the inning reaches on a drop third strike. Check swing from Smith is called for a strike, 0-1 to Grant Smith. And we mentioned it during Bobo's at bat. Grant Smith, he reached on an error. That was by the third baseman Harris. Harris threw it across the diamond. The pick couldn't be made by Dokes, the first baseman. Got behind him as now Bobo thought about going, then stopped in his tracks halfway. Smith fouled it off, so it wouldn't have mattered anyways. The count 0-2 to Grant Smith.
And I want to see Brendan Bobo try to steal a base. He's had one stolen base on the season, and that was in a runners on first and third scenario. So I want to see him try to go.
So 0-2 the count to Grant Smith with 2 outs and a runner on first. A swing and a miss, a strikeout for Perrin. That's his third strikeout in a row. The second one didn't count as Bobo headed to first. Actually, I mean, it does count, but Bobo headed to first. Hunter Call came in after he had a leadoff triple, and that'll do it for the third inning. So the Oaks, they take the lead 1-0. We head to the fourth. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Knight Uretsky here with Ryan Milano. Ryan, it's the fourth inning. You know what that means. It's your chance for play-by-play.
I love my chance for play-by-play. Leading off the top of the fourth, it's Ethan Royal, the 2-hole hitter and right fielder for the Coastal Cubs. His first time up, went down 0-2 in the count and then lined out to Zach Gregory at second base. First pitch from Waitman gets him to wave at an off-speed pitch. It falls out of the zone, and it is a strike, 0-1 to Ethan Royal. And so Donovan Waitman, he's been getting ahead in counts all day, and there's really not been a single count the entire day that he hasn't been ahead. The closest one is he was down 1 ball and no strikes as Royal skies one out of play. Now it is 0-2. He had 1 ball and no strikes to Oliver McGibbon when McGibbon grounded out to third base, and that is really the only time the entire day where you could even consider Waitman getting behind in the count, and that was just 1 ball. So Waitman, he has been on his A game so far today, and that's why he has 3 scoreless innings thus far. As the 0-2, he gets a swinging strikeout, and he continues to rack down batters. That's his 4th of the day.
And man, Waitman's been impressive. Has only allowed 1 hit. That was the double right down the left field line for Hayden Smith, and that was last inning. But so far, he's been effective. 3-pitch strikeout to start this inning, but so far, he's thrown only with that at bat, he's thrown 41 pitches in the game, and we're here in the 4th inning.
Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Trachtenberg, and he looked limp on the swing, did not want to go around because Waitman fooled him on a pitch in the dirt, a curveball that fell out of the zone. I was talking with Donovan Waitman before the game. He said he'd open up with any pitch as the 0-1 swung on and missed. Change up below the zone that got Trachtenberg waving at another one, so now quickly 0-2. He said he could start fastball, change up, curveball to start out counts, and even mix in a little bit of the slider. He says that his slider is his worst pitch out of his bag, but he still uses it a lot, and he uses Another pitch on the black here to get a strikeout looking, his second in a row, his fifth of the day, and 1, 2, 3 pitches to both of the first two batters. A strikeout swinging to Royal, a strikeout looking to Trachtenberg, and Oliver McGibbon is trying to prevent the side from being struck out. Last time up, he grounded out to third base. It was a great pick by Melhoff on the hot corner to get that out. That was the hardest hit ball of the day for the Cubs. First pitch, changes speeds, misses the zone outside, the count 1-0. So both of the batters that Waitman has fallen behind today have been McGibbon. Hasn't fallen behind by much. The 1-0. Inside, but misses the plate. The count 2-0. It looked like it was close to catching the corner, but the home plate umpire does not give the favorable call. The 2-0. Back in the zone, line to shortstop. Grant Smith catches it on a soft line, and a 1-2-3 inning for Waitman. 9 total pitches in the inning, and he is done through 4. To the bottom of the 4th we go. You're listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV, but not before we tell you about the CCL Showcase game that is coming up this Wednesday. It's going to be on Bali Sports TV, presented by ABDG, Wednesday, July 14th at 7 p.m. The CCL's top players will showcase their talents at the MLB Youth Academy in Compton, California. Pre-game workouts begin at 4 p.m. Tickets are available at the gate. For more information, visit calsummerball.com. That's C-A-L summerball.com. And be sure to follow the action on social media using the hashtag CCLBaseball. That is CCLBaseball. Ryan Milano alongside Nate Uretsky. Bottom 4, Brendan Durfee, Greg Melhoff, and Raul Sandoval. The 5, 6, 7 hole hitters to lead off 1, 2, 3 in this inning. Durfee, first at-bat was in the first inning, and he shoots one the opposite way for a leadoff single here in the 4th inning. So 1 pitch, 1 hit to Brendan Durfee, and he's aboard.
And Durfee, he's a pull hitter out of that left-handed swinging position. He normally pulls a lot of balls to right field. That time he goes opposite field, slices it the other way. I know that he's been working on that. Sends it the opposite way to left field, and he's on with a single.
Yeah, and that's what he's been working on with his swing. He has lowered his hands in his batting stance, and he's been able to, instead of pulling everything, try to shoot balls that are on the outside part of the plate the opposite way. He did right there. Greg Melhoff watches the first pitch, cuts his knees for a strike. The count 0-1 to Melhoff. He grounded out on the right side of the infield his last time up. That was also the result of Durfee's first time, where he was retired with 2 runners in scoring position. Durfee, he changed his tune with a single. Melhoff trying to do the same. The 0-1, Durfee's running. Hit and run, ground ball to second base. The turn, no throw there, so over to first goes Smith to get the runner. Advancing to second is Durfee, and there's 1 down in the inning.
And right there, it was obviously a hit-and-run situation. I don't know where the Oaks would ever make Brendan Durfee try to steal a base with his speed. Not the fastest base runner for the Oaks, but the hit-and-run on with Melhoff. He grounds it out to the second baseman, Smith, and because of that hit-and-run, it puts a runner in scoring position at second because Durfee was able to advance because he took off running.
And I want to see Brendan Lawrence's arm be tested with Brendan Durfee. He hasn't had a stolen base or a stolen base attempt on the season as Sandoval bounces his first pitch outside of the third base bag. I want to see him try to steal a bag because he's not known for his speed threat, but we saw him against the Blues in SLO 2 days ago. He went first to third on a triple by, or first to home, on a triple by TJ Foreman, where the throw very easily could have gotten him at the plate, and he showed some wheels in order to get all the way around all three bases. It was a close play at the plate, but he was able to show off some speed there as Sandoval check swings and does not go around on a slider in the dirt. The count is 1-1.
Well, I think that if Brandon Lawrence, the catcher, can gun out Raul Sandoval, who's negotiably the second fastest player on the Oaks, then I think he could get Brendan Durfee.
I think that the perfect throw was on to Sandoval, and Sandoval was actually in pretty much at the same time as the throw. The throw was just perfectly on the line. So I want to see if it was a fluke on the throw down from Lawrence or if he can repeat the action. And it would be an easier task, presumably, with someone like Brendan Durfee, who's a designated hitter. A catcher is in his position when he's fully healthy. So I think absolutely, as Sandoval has a 2-1 count to him, swings and fouls one back, it's 2-2, that I want to see Lawrence's arm tested, and I want to see Brendan Durfee's wheels going down to second base. I don't think it's too tall of an ask.
Oh, I mean, I think you'd have to talk to Sleaze. I don't think he's sending Durfee on a steal without a hit-and-run opportunity.
Well, I think you're right, but I'm not sure that's what it has to be. I think we can see Brendan Durfee show off some of the wheels. It might have to be a bigger lead than 1-0. The 2-2, Sandoval watches a pitch on the outside part of the plate. It catches the zone, a strikeout, and Raul Sandoval's strikeout streak continues. He has gone down looking or swinging in the last few games many times. That is his 14th strikeout in the last 8 games.
It's just been a tough go about swinging the bat for Sandoval, but today he did lead off the game for his first at-bat in the second inning with a single, so that was a step in the right direction for Sandoval. 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards with the strikeout looking.
And the caught stealing. Those are both the steps, the strikeout and the caught stealing. Sharp with 2 outs now, watches the first pitch, check swing, did he go? The second base umpire says he went all the way around, so the count is 0-1 to Andrew Sharp, who last time up flew out on the infield. Nick Seiler moseyed underneath it at shortstop. A runner in scoring position, that is Brendan Durfee. 2 outs in the inning. The Oaks, they have a 1-0 lead. Durfee gets his secondary lead, and Sharp watches a pitch curve right into the zone. Backdoor slider for a strike. The count is 0-2 to Andrew Sharp.
And right now, Perrin, he's been effective in this game. Has only allowed the 1 run, but that 1 run came in after a drop third strike, so really that run shouldn't have came in. He's had, 4 strikeouts in the game.
The 0-2 misses outside, so he's going to have to wait at least 1 more pitch if he's going to try to get his 5th. And he's had 4 strikeouts in the game, and all of those strikeouts have come in this lineup rotation the second time through. The 2-hole hitter, 3-hole hitter, 4-hole hitter, and then 7-hole hitter struck out, so 4 of the last 6 batters for the Oaks have gone down via the strikeout, with the exception of Brendan Bobo in the drop third. And Sharp is going to add to that total. He swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. So 2 strikeouts in the inning after 1 hit. Durfee's left on second base. No runs came around for Tristan Perrin. And the Oaks, they sat down in short order as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Donovan Waitman still on the hill. We come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Back here, top five, Donovan Waitman on the hill for the Oaks. He is continuing a strong outing, trying to make it even longer. He's gone through 4 innings of near flawless baseball, allowed just 1 double. That is the only base runner that he's allowed all day today. Had a 1-2-3 inning on 9 pitches last inning. Gets a first pitch strike here to Moses Dokes. The count 0-1 to Dokes. So Waitman on the day. He had 2 strikeouts last inning. That adds to his total of 5 for the day. He had 1-2-3 innings in the first, second, and fourth. Allowed just 1 base runner off a double. As this one is chopped to Melhoff at third. The throw to first in time, and another batter is retired for Donovan Waitman.
And man, he's just been effective. Right now, pitching in the 5th inning, he's only thrown 49 pitches so far. A 12-pitch inning in the first, 11-pitch inning in the second, a 15-pitch inning in the third, and a 9-pitch inning last inning. Already starting here with 1 out on 2 pitches. He's just been so effective today, as well as having 5 strikeouts.
He's going to try to continue that against Nick Seiler. He grounded out to Melhoff at third the last time he came to the plate. First pitch, squares to bunt, pulls back, but it's a called strike, so the count is 0-1. Now the infield knows the plan of Nick Seiler, Melhoff, and Bobo crashing a little bit late on the corners, but now ready for a bunt. Middle infield, a little bit tight up the middle. The 0-1 breaking ball catches the zone for a strike, curveball in there, so the count is 0-2. Outfield playing straight up defense, a righty hitter with the wind gusting out to right field. The 0-2, Waitman leaves one over the middle, lined into right field. Foreman right underneath it, doesn't even need to take a step, and the batter is retired on 3 pitches and 2 outs here in the inning.
And another 3-pitch at bat that ends in an out for Waitman, and working through 4 2/3 right now. He's just getting them a lot of strikes. We saw 1 strike to Dokes, 2 strikes to Seiler now, and he's just peppering the strike zone, and he's been so efficient all day.
And that brings up Jordan Harris, grounded out to Melhoff as well at third base last time he came to the plate. That was on a 2-2 count. Waitman tries to go off speed to start him off in this count, but bounces one. Sharp can't keep it in front of him, so the count is 1-0. We see Brendan Bobo. He's shaded off of the first base bag, so the infield regular positioning away from each other, just shifted a little bit to the pull side for a right-handed hitter. This pitch, the 1-0, misses high, so it is now 2-0. So we've seen Jordan Harris have 2 balls on him the last 2 times that he's come to the plate. There's been only 3 other batters in the entirety of the game that have seen 2 ball counts. The 2-0, Waitman catches the zone for a strike, changeup in there. The count is 2-1. The 2 ball counts we've seen today, this at-bat to Jordan Harris. Harris's first at-bat in the 3rd inning. Saw a 2 ball count on a line out to shortstop to end the 4th inning, as this one is lined hard into left field and it's going to get down, so a 2-out hit for Jordan Harris, the second given up on the day for Donovan Waitman.
And right there, Waitman got down 2-0, then fired back with a strike, and then just left one right over the plate. Harris took it to left field, call not fast enough to go and get it. It was a nice line drive hit for Harris, and now they have a runner on with 2 outs, but Waitman still, he's been dominant today.
Yeah, and I mentioned it before, but I think Waitman definitely has a case for being deserving of a showcase spot through his 4 starts. He's had 16 2/3 innings, allowed just a few runs on the season as he gets a swing and a miss here from Hayden Smith. The strike is called. So he had 3 earned runs in a game against Academy, 1 earned run in a game against Academy, 2 earned runs in a game against the St. 1 against the Crawdads. So on the season, he has allowed just 7 earned runs through 16 2/3 innings pitched. That's a 3.78 ERA. As he paints the inside part of the plate for a strike, Hayden Smith tried to bait a ball call by backing out of the zone, but it was right in there for the strike on the inside half. So the count up quickly 0-2 to Hayden Smith. The only extra base hit of the day for the Cubs. He had a double down that 3rd base line. And Waitman, especially with his last performance, he's been pitching better and better and better. And I think that if he continues to ride the high that he had in that last performance, what he's been doing to start off here as he misses the zone, elevated, the count is 1-2. Then I think that Waitman is on his way to a very successful second half of the year.
Oh, I definitely agree. I think Waitman, he's had a really good performance last game, and right now he's having a great performance today. And so I think the ceiling is the roof, as Michael Jordan would say, for
The
Donovan Waitman.
1-2 check swing. Did he go? No, he didn't. And I thought that Hayden Smith was going to get rung up there. To me, behind the plate, it looked like he broke his wrists, but the second base umpire thought differently. So it's now 2-2 the count. The inning is not over. Waitman still has to get one more down with the runner on first base.
I thought it was a strike, too. I was about to write down a K in my scorebook, but the umpire says he didn't go. The count's even.
Big gap on the right side of the infield. Smith choking up on his bat. The 2-2, Waitman to the plate. Catches the zone for a strike. Change up in there. So a strikeout looking. He gets it on the second try, his 6th of the day. And Donovan Waitman continues to deal. After 5, we head to the home half of the inning. When we come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Hunter Call leading off the bottom of the 5th inning. Last time up, Hunter Call, the only extra base hit of the day for the Oaks. He had a leadoff triple and was the only run who came around to score so far in the game for Conejo. He watches the first pitch of the inning bounce in for a ball. The count is 1-0. So Hunter, he was able to stay down on a pitch and drive it with some topspin down out to the wall, dead left field right down the line. 1-0, misses outside. The count is 2-0. And we've seen Hunter Call on the season be a little bit out in front of pitches, and right there on the last time he came, he was out in front just enough, barreled it up, and almost went out to left field. We still have not seen a home run out to left field yet at Cal Lutheran. Hunter Call was about a couple feet away from getting the first as he bounces one outside of the third base bag. The count is 2-1. So Call, Foreman, Gregory, the batter on deck and in the hole for the Oaks in that order. We see some action now in the Cubs' pen. Count is 2-1. Tristan Perrin still on the hill. A hole up the middle between second base and shortstop. Seiler at second, Seiler at short, Smith at second. The 2-1. Call watches it get in. The count is 2-2. And for Hunter Call, what he needs to work on at the plate, and sometimes where he gets in trouble, and he told me this himself, is that sometimes he loses aggression, especially when he gets ahead in counts. He's trying to get aboard any way he can, so sometimes he's not as aggressive as he should be. And the way that he's swinging the bat when he makes contact, and sometimes when he's gone down looking as now he sees a full count, I think it's being aggressive, having confidence in your swing, knowing that you can drive a ball out to any part of the park whenever you want to, because the last few times that Hunter Call has seen full counts, he has gone down looking. And when he can stay aggressive and attack pitches, as right here he watches a pitch and gets aboard, so he does exactly what I say not to do, but a strong, well-executed at-bat from him to work a walk on a full count. But I do think if he stays aggressive, he will be able to get aboard more with hits and stay alive, as he would be able to foul off a lot of pitches that would be close and then get pitches that are further off the plate that it leaves the umpire to not be the one making the call of whether it's a strike or not.
And Hunter Call, I mean, he does need to work on that aggression a little bit. But right now, that was his 11th walk of the season. in his 14th game. He has been susceptible to striking out looking. He's had 13 strikeouts on the year. Many of them have been strikeouts looking, but here he watches the 6th pitch go a ball.
Foreman bounces one up the middle. It gets through. Called to second. He's going to stop there. So 2 runners on to lead off the inning for the Oaks. First pitch swinging and a single for Foreman. Oh, and the ball gets away from the second baseman. The catcher comes and backs it up in Brendan Lawrence. He makes the play. TJ Foreman thought about going. Hunter Call didn't read it as well as Foreman did, so Hunter did not get the jump. Foreman, I think, wanted to try to dash over to second base, but either way, 2 runners on and no outs in the inning for the Oaks as Zach Gregory, one of the representatives for the Oaks in the CCL Showcase game, he comes to the plate. And let's talk a little bit about Zach Gregory's season and what really brought him to be a representative in the Showcase game for the Oaks, because if you look at his batting average on the season, it isn't the most fantastic on the year as Gregory watches a pitch and misses. Actually, he catches the knees. A late strike call by the home plate umpire, so the count is 0-1. And Gregory, you mentioned that 171 batting average and that 491 on base percentage. At one point in the season, it was all the way up at 516. He's just done an incredible job all season about seeing counts deep, and that's really the best reason why he is a representative for the Oaks in the Showcase game as he goes down 0-2 after a breaking ball. I was talking with him before today's game. I asked him what he does well, and he says seeing counts and getting on base. And I've identified that from him, and I think he does a fantastic job at seeing counts, getting on, whether it be with hits, whether it be with walks, whether it be with hit by pitches. As the 0-2 check swing, does he go? He does not, and it is elevated for a ball. The count is 1-2. So, Knight, tell me why you think that Zach Gregory earned his spot at the Showcase.
Well, I mean, it's definitely the on-base percentage, and I was just going to add that even his on-base percentage at the University of Arkansas has been solid. He's batting .245 at Arkansas this past season, but he had an on-base percentage of .440. And so I think Gregory, his on-base percentage has always been solid. He's had many games where he's been able to reach base on a walk or hit by pitch, and, you know, all season he's just shown a knack to being able to get on base, and I think that's the reason why. I mean, he's just getting on base probably about half the time, just under half the time with that .491 on base percentage.
The 1-2 was fouled off, and now he watches a pitch bounce low. It is now 2-2. So Zach Gregory, he is one of 6 representatives for the Oaks who made the CCL Showcase game. It's Gregory, along with Brendan Bobo, Grant Smith, Anson Arrows, Reagan Burford, and then one pitcher represented, and that's Cody Adcock. All 6 of them, we will dive in a little bit deeper on their seasons throughout this game and tell you why they are going to be playing on Wednesday. But Gregory right here, he strikes out on 6 pitches. It was a 2-2 count, and now 1 down in the inning with 2 runners on.
And Gregory, a rare game for him because he struck out in the 3rd inning looking and now striking out swinging in the 5th, and he's 0 for 3 today, so not many games that Gregory comes up and really can't get on base.
That's going to bring up Brendan Bobo. He's another representative in the Showcase game. Today, he singled in the 1st inning but was stranded on 3rd base. Then he struck out in the 3rd, but a dropped 3rd strike allowed for Hunter Call to come in from 3rd base. First pitch of this at-bat, he swings and misses. And Knight, tell me a little bit about Brendan Bobo and why he's representing the Oaks in the Showcase game on Wednesday.
Well, Brendan Bobo is the best power hitter in the CCL South. He's tied for number 1 in home runs in all of the CCL with one man that's up playing for the Healdsburg Prune Packers. But in all of the CCL South, he is leading the CCL South in home runs. So he's the best power hitter in the CCL South. And you know, he really started the season remarkably hot. He was batting over 500 for probably the first week and a half of the season. He's definitely cooled down a little bit, but he's still batting roughly around 300 overall on the season. And, man, when you just have the power that he has, the pop, they want him in the CCL Showcase game.
As this pitch misses outside, the count is 1-1.
And we saw that pop yesterday with that 3-run home run that he had. I think that the CCL, they like to have their power hitters. They like seeing guys that can hit home runs. And Brendan Bobo, he can do that better than anybody in the CCL South.
The 1-1 to Bobo. Swings driven high, shallow into left field. Tracking over is Seiler at the line. Makes the catch. The runners can't advance. And now 2 down in the inning. So far, the 2 Showcase members for the Oaks that have appeared in this inning have been retired without advancing the runners, where the 2 that have appeared in this inning that are not being represented in the showcase game have not been able to advance bags. Grant Smith trying to buck the trend of the showcase members not being able to get on base, as he is another showcase member. So far today, he reached base once. That was on an error by the third baseman Harris, where he threw it up the line, and Smith and Bobo were able to advance to second and third, neither of which were able to come around to score in the first inning. And then his last at-bat struck out on 3 pitches to end the third. This time, skies one high into right field. Tracking at the line is Royal in the bullpen, makes the catch against the wall, and the inning is retired. So Grant Smith, Brendan Bobo, and Zach Gregory, 3 straight outs to leave 2 stranded after 1 hit in the inning. That was by T.J. Foreman. No runs came across to score. We will head to the top of the 6th inning. Donovan Waitman still dealing on the hill when we come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream. Donovan Waitman comes out for his 6th inning of work. He's faced off against 17 batters so far today, retired 15 of them, and starts off this first pitch to Aiden Johnson with a strike. The count is 0-1 to Johnson. Waitman has had to be just that good so far in this game, as he only has a 1-run cushion. The Oaks, they lead 1-0. He's allowed 2 hits, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, but was able to navigate his way out of both innings without any more base runners. The 0-1, Waitman gets one chopped right back to him, shows to Bobo, underhands to him, and the first batter of the inning, Aiden Johnson, is retired on 2 pitches.
And Waitman, he's really kept his pitch count down. He has only 63 pitches thrown through 5 1/3, and that's why you see him pitching in the 6th. All season, we have not seen an Oaks pitcher pitch into the 6th inning, an Oaks starter, that is. And right now, he's pitching into the 6th, and he's just been so dominant all day. On the day, he has 6 strikeouts, and he just keeps mowing down this Coastal Cubs lineup.
Waitman, the first pitch into Brandon Lawrence, misses inside for a ball. The count is 1-0. Phil Call, Hunter's dad, he says, Waitman, in all caps with a few exclamation points, and that's exactly how we feel up in the booth. The 1-0 misses on the outside part of the plate. It was painted on the black, but just outside of the zone, so the count is 2-0. Sharp tried to frame it. Did not have a good enough frame job. Lawrence, he struck out and grounded out to second base. Now is down as this pitch catches the zone for a strike, and I think the umpire gave one back to Waitman there. That one was further off the plate than we saw the last pitch, but the count is 2-1. Lawrence has been able to work the counts the deepest of any Cub we've seen today, as the 2-1 misses the zone. It is now 3-1, the first 3-ball count we've seen of the entire day to Donovan Waitman. Lawrence saw a 5-pitch count in the first inning where he ended up striking out, and a 5-pitch count in the third inning where he ended up grounding out. This time the 3-1 skied high on the infield. Gregory underneath it. Smith calls him off on the second base side of second base, makes the catch, and the second out of the inning is retired. So Waitman, he navigates around one of the scarier at-bats that he's faced today, and there's 2 down here in the 6th.
And Brandon Lawrence, that's exactly what he's done all day. He's had 5 pitch at-bats in each of his 3 plate appearances today, and right there had a 5-pitch at-bat saw 3 balls and 1 strike, then skied high the 5th one to Grant Smith, and 2 are gone for Donovan Waitman.
That brings up Ethan Royal. Struck out on 3 straight pitches his last time up. He won't do the same here as the first pitch to him is a ball, so the count is 1-0. Before this inning, Waitman, he hadn't thrown a lot of balls. In this inning, he has thrown 4 total balls, so still not a super high total for him, but higher than we've seen from him throughout the entirety of this game, as this one skied high into the shallow outfield. Sandoval and Foreman coming in right center. TJ Foreman calls him off, makes the catch, and another 1-2-3 inning for Donovan Waitman. He works his way through 6 and still has not allowed a run. We head to the home half of the 6th inning on the Conejo Oaks live stream, trying to give Donovan some insurance. Back here, bottom 6, Brendan Durfee leading off the inning for the Oaks. They cling to a 1-0 lead behind a stellar outing from Donovan Waitman. We see Evan Gray getting hot in the bullpen. So Waitman's day might be done through 6, but Brendan Durfee is trying to give him more insurance. Right now, Waitman is on the hook for the win if the Oaks were to have this score hold. First pitch bounces in. The count is 1-0. I believe this is still Tristan Perrin on the mound.
It is, and, you know, Waitman, he's had a great game, but Perrin, he's also had a really great game. He's only allowed 1 run, and that run should have came in.
Durfee watches the 1-0 pitch, miss low, so now the count is 2-0, and where Waitman, he's only allowed 2 hits on the day. Perrin, he's allowed just 4 hits on the day.
5.
A single in the 5th, single in the 4th, triple in the 3rd, single in the 2nd, and then single in the 1st. So 1 hit in every inning as the 2-0 pitch misses. It is now 3-0. And we see Brendan Durfee ahead in the count. So 5 base runners aboard with a hit. We also saw 1 get on with an error and 1 with a walk. Durfee, the 3-0 pitch, catches his own for a strike. It's now 3-1, as well as 1 get on with a drop third strike in Brendan Bobo. So 8 total base runners on the day, if that math is correct, for Tristan Perrin. The 3-1 to Durfee. Breaking ball in at the knees for a strike, and the count has run full. So Perrin bounces back after going down 3-0. It's now 3-2.
We haven't seen many deep counts like this to Perrin. Perrin, he's been able to work really efficiently, just like Waitman, through the first 5 innings.
The 3-2. Durfee thinks about it, checks swing, but the ball misses the plate, and Brendan Durfee, he's worked a full count walk, so the first 2 walks of the day have come in the last 2 innings. Both lead-off walks. In the 5th, Hunter Call on a full count, and now Brendan Durfee on a juiced count. And that brings up Greg Melhoff. On the day, Melhoff has grounded out twice, both of them being to the second baseman. So Smith over at second has gotten a lot of work. And if I'm Hayden Smith, I am prepared for this ball to be coming to me, but it might be coming from a new pitcher. The coach for the Cubs, he's trotting out to the hill to talk to Tristan Perrin. There is some action going on in the Cubs bullpen. Whether this is just a general mound visit or if he's taking the ball out of the hands is yet to be decided. Brendan Lawrence, as well as Tristan Perrin, along with the head coach for the Cubs, are all meeting at the mound, and it looks like he is going to face against Greg Melhoff. The ball still in his hands. Coach gives him a pat on the leg. So this might be still Perrin's inning, but the leadoff runner is on with no outs. We've seen the leadoff runner on a few times today. The last 4 innings have all featured the leadoff runner. Hunter Call led off with a triple in the 3rd. A single for Brendan Durfee led off the 4th. Hunter Call led off with a walk in the 5th, and now Durfee again, he gets aboard with a walk in the 6th. So the Durfee and Call connection to lead off all 4 of those innings have been effective as Melhoff swings through the first pitch. The count is 0-1. Greg Melhoff still searching for his first hit as an Oak.
And Melhoff, his first 2 plate appearances, as you mentioned, the ground out to second base, but it's been the exact same thing. 0-1 count to him, second pitch he sees, he grounds it out.
0-2, this time he doesn't. Durfee on a back pick gets back in safely. Lawrence aggressive, the throw down to Dokes was not in time, and Brendan Durfee slides back in. The count is 1-1, so the deepest count that Melhoff has seen so far on the day. We were talking with Greg Melhoff before the game. He described himself as more of a contact hitter. He said he had some pop, but he has not hit a home run yet in collegiate ball, as the 1-1 misses low. The count is 2-1.
And I think a lot of that, why he hasn't hit a home run in college ball, is because of the injuries. He was telling us that his freshman year, he had a hernia that he had to get surgery on. During his sophomore year, he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And so both of those illnesses have really kept him out.
The 2-1 misses up and away. The count is 3-1, so Melhoff now sees himself ahead in the count. He went down 1 strike in every at-bat that he's seen, but has seen 3 straight balls from Tristan Perrin, and Perrin is in danger of walking his second consecutive batter. The 3-1, below the zone, flared into left field. Is it fair? Just lands outside the chalk. Tracks its way over to Evan Gray in the bullpen, and the count has run full for the second consecutive batter.
Right there, I thought it was going to be a slicing double for Melhoff opposite way. Just sliced a little bit too far foul. It's just an unfortunate break, but back-to-back full counts to start this inning for the Oaks, and that's exactly what they need to be doing. They need to be working the count of Perrin and try to get him out of the game, because he's really mowed through their lineup, really just allowing that 1 run that was on that drop third strike.
Durfee at first, the full count. Melhoff swing and miss. So another strikeout for Perrin. He has had 1 in every inning since the 3rd. 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th for his 6th strikeout of the day and the first out for the Oaks in the inning.
And Melhoff right there, he was just a couple of feet away from having a double that could have potentially been an RBI double. Now he strikes out, and it's just a quick change of events.
Durfee being held on at first by Dokes. Sandoval grounds 1 through the hole between short and 3rd. That's his second hit of the day. A single, and the runners will both advance 1 base. So Durfee at second, Sandoval at first, and 1 down in the inning. Sandoval has been first pitch swinging twice, and twice he has had ground balls get through the infield. In the second inning, he had a ground ball get through right up the middle. Then right there, pulled 1 in the hole to bring Andrew Sharp to the plate. Sharp, he's seen 7 total pitches today. 4-pitch strikeout last time up. As now Durfee, he's going to come out of the game. A pinch runner, and Reagan Burford is going to take over for him at second. And the rest of the at-bat for Andrew Sharp prior to his 4th inning strikeout, he flew out to end the 2nd inning. So twice we have seen Andrew Sharp end the inning. Sharp awaiting the first pitch from Perrin. Watches an off-speed pitch, catch the knees for a strike. The count 0-1. Tristan Perrin with a backdoor slider. So Burford, he's come in to pinch run. He's at second base. Raul Sandoval at first. Speed on both sides, or on both bags. Sharp awaiting the 0-1. This one a slider that ran inside. Sharp went around the ball in the dirt after the catcher could not handle it, but the runners do not get a good enough read to advance. Good communication from the away dugout to tell him where the ball was. Sharp goes down 0-2, did not swing at the first pitch that was in the zone, and then swung at a pitch that was out of the zone. So now he is behind in the count. Struck out last time up. This time he lines one into right. It's going to carry, but it's caught on a line. Tagging is Burford. He's going to get to third. Runners on the corners with 2 down, and Royal read that perfectly. The balls that are shot out towards right field generally have a little carry on them at Cal Lutheran, but that one too far shallow, too far on a line to get a little bit of that help from the wind, and it brings up Hunter Call. Andrew Sharp has been retired 3 times.
And that one had a lot of exit velocity on it. It went right to the right fielder, Royal, and he just had to back up a little bit as it was roped on a line. It was a liner, not a fly out, but right now this is a crucial spot for Hunter Call. You have runners on the corners, 2 outs, and it's a 1-0 lead. You need a hit right here to extend the lead.
Hunter Call has gotten on both times he's come to the plate. First pitch, the runner in Sandoval is going to go. He wanted the throw down to second to try to score the runner from third and Burford, but not biting is Lawrence, so a free stolen base for Raul Sandoval. We've seen Sandoval do this exact play with Burford on second or on third base. We saw it the first time that the Oaks traveled to San Luis Obispo and ended up working in that time, where Burford came to score and Sandoval was out. The pitch misses, so the count 2-0 to Hunter Call. He's gotten ahead in all of the counts he's seen today. He tripled first time up to lead off the third. Then he led off the fifth with a full count walk. Now 2 runners in scoring position, trying to give Donovan Waitman a few more insurance runs. The 2-0 Call swings, skies one high, out of play. Dokes gives it a look, but ends up retreating back to first base as the ball caromed out of play. The count 2-1.
Went right behind us, Ryan. You can see it right there, that tree right behind us.
I mean, you can't see it, the fans watching behind us, but there's a tree right behind the press box where we're at, and you can see the ball bouncing and sitting right next to it.
The 2-1 to Hunter Call. I'm looking for it. It's camouflaged in the dirt. The 2-1 Call thinks about it, but watches the slider off the plate. Perrin's gone back to that pitch, and Hunter Call has had a read on it. The second consecutive count where he's seen 3 balls. And Hunter Call, we talked his last at-bat about him potentially being more aggressive at the plate, but right here in a 3-1 count, getting aboard and passing the bat to TJ Foreman, it's not a bad idea, but if there's a pitch to hit, Call has been driving some today. The 3-1 down the middle, driven into left center field. Going back is McGibbon on a knee, makes the catch, and the inning is retired. So it was driven hard, but the wind held it up, and McGibbon made a play. No run score in the inning. 1 hit and 2 runners stranded. We head to the top of the 7th inning. Is Waitman coming back out? We'll see when we come back on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Back top 7, Knight. It is your time for play-by-play once again.
Thank you, Ryan. So Donovan Waitman will not be on the mound. New pitcher now for the Oaks. It's going to be Evan Gray, the right-hander out of Arkansas. He comes in with a 1-0 lead as the Oaks, they're leading here in the top of the 7th inning. As the first pitch to Taylor Trachtenberg from Gray, in there for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. And man, what a day for Donovan Waitman. 6 innings pitched. He only threw 70 pitches. He faced 20 batters, retiring 18 of them, had 6 strikeouts, and only allowed 2 hits. As the 0-1 pitch is inside, and 1-1 the count now to Taylor Trachtenberg. But man, Ryan, talk about Donovan Waitman's performance today.
I mean, it was just incredible. Not only the ability to get batters out, but the efficiency, the strikeout stuff. He got ahead in every count. He executed his job today perfectly.
The 1-1 is a fastball inside. 2-1 the count now to Taylor Trachtenberg. And right now, I think me and you are both in a consensus agreement that if the Oaks win this game, Donovan Waitman will be the player of the game. As the 2-1 pitch from Gray, that one misses low and in the dirt. 3-1 the count to Taylor Trachtenberg.
And of the 70 pitches that Waitman threw today, guess how many of them were balls?
How many?
I want you to guess.
Oh, guess? I'm gonna say 10.
Oh, okay. That's a little much.
A much?
I mean, that's a little, you're thinking a little too hopefully on that one. I mean, 70 pitches, 10 balls is incredible.
Okay, so okay, it's not 10. So let me say, can I say 20?
You're close with 20.
20?
You're close with 20. He had 21 balls in his outing.
Okay.
Which is impeccable. He had 1 3-ball count the entire day.
It's really impressive. So Evan Gray, he comes into the game and walks Taylor Trachtenberg, and now with a runner on first and nobody out, Oliver McGibbon. The first pitch to him misses low in the zone, 1-0. And Evan Gray, he has a 500 ERA on the year. He's 2-0 though.
Not a 500 ERA, a 5.0.
5.00. You can imagine if he did have a 500 ERA, that'd be insane. This one's fouled off by McGibbon. The count even 1-1. Gray, he had a really impressive performance against the Arroyo Seco Saints, where he struck out a lot of the batters that he faced. He won player of the game in that game, and he joked with us pregame saying, if I just would have retired after that game, I might have been able to make the CCL Showcase game. As this one's fouled off by McGibbon, the count now 1-2. Since that point, Gray, he's given up 1 earned run in each of his last 3 appearances. He's given up 7 hits during that span, including last time against the Barons. He pitched 2 innings. He gave up 1 earned run on 4 hits and walked 2 batters, only struck out 1 batter in the 11 batters he faced. As the pitch misses outside to McGibbon, the count even 2-2.
And so you mentioned what Evan told us before the game about how if he retired after that game, he would have been a representative in the showcase game. So let's talk about the actual pitching representative from the Oaks in the showcase game. And no, it was not Donovan Waitman, despite his incredible last 2 appearances.
As a drop third strike, heading to first is McGibbon. Stopping at second is Trachtenberg. And it looked like McGibbon was trying to call times. Then they did not call the times. He had to face the pitch from Gray. He kind of half swung, bunted. He struck out, but he headed to first. Now 2 runners are on with nobody outs, and it's a 1-0 game.
And that's on Andrew Sharp. That is absolutely on Andrew Sharp, that drop third strike. The batter was out of the box. All you have to do right there is catch the ball and keep it in front of you and make sure that the batter does not go all the way down to first. And right there, Sharp, he was not able to do that. He knew what pitch was going to be thrown. Evan Gray executed the pitch well, and the batter sort of gave up on the pitch. But it doesn't look like there's a runner on first base. So they called him out.
Oh,
so never mind.
Never mind.
Not Andrew Sharp's fault.
So just a K.
Because first base was occupied at the time. The runner was on first base. So you cannot advance to first on a drop third strike if there's a runner on first base.
So in that case, the first strikeout of the day to Evan Gray. At second base now is Trachtenberg after the pass ball. So runner on second, runner in scoring position, that is. And it's a 1-0 game. And Moses Dokes, the first baseman, he's at the plate to face off against Evan Gray. The first pitch to him, it's a swinging bunt in the infield. Gray comes and fields it barehanded, throws the first over the head of Bobo. Coming in to score now is Trachtenberg. Heading to second is Dokes. And unfortunate for Donovan Waitman, as he's not going to receive a decision today.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Donovan Waitman. He just pitched such an exquisite game, and the run support wasn't there from the offense, and he's not going to be able to get the win. But the Oaks and Evan Gray, they need to get out of this inning right now, because tied at 1 is much better, obviously, than if you're trailing at the end of the inning. So Evan Gray needs to dial in. He's pitched well, but he needs to get back, and that's what will happen. Walks will kill you. He's allowed just the one walk and then an error in the inning. So the walk ended up resulting in the run scored after the ball squirted away from Sharp. It allowed for the guy on first to advance to second in Trachtenberg, and then the error allowed him to come all the way home.
First pitch to Nick Seiler missed inside. 1-0 the count to him. So runner on second after the error. Dokes the runner that is at second, as Seiler fouls off the 1-0. The count even 1-1. So with one out, we have the runner in scoring position. That is the go-ahead run in Dokes. Nick Seiler, the shortstop, he's up at the plate, and Evan Gray, he's on the mound. And right after giving up that error, he kicked the mound, was really upset with himself, and we're all tied 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, that one bounces in the dirt, gets behind Sharp. He's looking for it. The umpire's over it. Sharp loses the ball and now picks it up. The count now 2-1 to Nick Seiler.
Yeah, and the umpire kicked that ball twice or three times there. It was sitting right at his feet. He was trying to get out of the way, and multiple times ended up kicking it. And now multiple times you see it in the inning, the ball not be thrown back to Evan Gray cleanly. And as a pitcher, that definitely messes with your head. And I do want to talk about Cody Adcock and the pitching representative for the Oaks in the showcase game and why he was able to get there into the showcase game. And that is because that he's just pitched well all season long. He has been doing his job from start to finish.
First pitch is in there, fourth pitch is in there for a strike. The count even 2-2.
And so Adcock on the season has had 3 outings. He's pitched 14 total innings, struck out 17 batters, and allowed just 2 earned runs on the season for a 1.28 ERA. So as good as Waitman has been in his last 2 outings, I think the correct representative, if they're only going to name one as a pitcher, was named to the showcase game.
Seiler grounds it to Grant Smith, the throw over to first, and Seiler's retired for the second out of the inning. So still tied 1-1, runner on second, and now 2 outs.
And so what have you seen from Cody Adcock so far this season?
I've seen absolute dominance from Cody Adcock. His last couple of performances, he's just been so efficient. There's no doubt he's the best starting pitcher for this Oaks team. I'd say that him and Clay Rickerman are the 2 best pitchers on this Oaks team. But Cody Adcock, every time he pitches, he strikes out a lot of the batters. He's so dominant. He's able to work really efficiently, and anytime he's on the mound, I feel pretty confident that he's going to set down the other team's order.
And to put that more into perspective, in a 5-inning outing in which he gave up 0 earned runs and just 2 hits against the SLO Blues, the first time that Conejo traveled to San Luis Obispo, he struck out 8 batters. He did not get a decision in that game, as the Oaks ended up losing 5-4, as the 7th and 8th inning included all of the runs.
First pitch is swung on and missed by Jordan Harris. The count now 0-1.
So the 7th and 8th inning included all 5 runs for the Blues in that game, in which Adcock had the gem against the Blues. So I think that Adcock, just throughout the season, has been impeccable. He has been incredibly difficult to hit and has gone deep into all of his outings.
Harris fouls off a pitch now. He gets behind 0-2 with 2 outs and a runner on second.
I was talking with Cody Adcock before the game, and because there's the off day, he says that he wants to pitch in the showcase game, potentially even start in the showcase game, and then potentially come back for the Oaks in the next few days. He would be the next pitcher in line to start after, not the next game, but 2 games after. So the typical rotation is Waitman, Wexberg, and then Adcock. So he says that if he can pitch in the showcase game, maybe give him an extra day of rest and treat it as a bullpen.
The 0-2 pitch is looked at for strike 3 to Jordan Harris, the second strikeout of the day for Evan Gray. But one run comes in after a walk and an error. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning, tied 1-1 here at George Sparky Anderson Field. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Bottom of the 7th inning, we're all tied 1-1. The Coastal Cubs, they just took or tied the game in the top of the 7th inning. That was after an error by Evan Gray as he sailed a throw over to first on a swinging bunt from Moses Dokes. Went over the head of Brendan Bobo, brought in the runner Taylor Trachtenberg, and we're all tied 1-1. New pitcher on the mound for the Cubs, that's Carson Quintana, as the first pitch to TJ Foreman misses, and it's 1-0 to TJ Foreman.
Final line for Tristan Perrin. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and allowed just the one earned run, or the one run as the wild pitch came around to score. It was earned for him because it is credited as a wild pitch on the drop third strike.
So the 1-0 pitch missed, and now 2-0 the count to TJ Foreman. As the 2-0 pitch, that one misses inside to Foreman, so 3 straight balls to TJ Foreman. And if you walk TJ Foreman here, you got to think in a tie game, he's going to be stealing second for sure and possibly third.
And he was talking with me before the game, and he said his goal for the day was 3 stolen bases.
Pitch misses low and in the dirt, so TJ Foreman walks on 4 straight pitches, and he's at first, and that's not the leadoff runner you want on first base.
No, it's absolutely not. And he could not steal any bases in the 5th inning when he got on because Hunter Call was occupying the base in front of him. Now, TJ Foreman, he has free reign of the base paths. And I know that Raul Sandoval got gunned down by Lawrence in the 2nd inning, but you got to think that TJ Foreman's wanting to run.
Absolutely. So, now up to the plate, Zach Gregory with TJ Foreman on first. First pitch, Foreman goes. Gregory, he's going to bunt. Fielding it now is Lawrence. He gets on a knee, throws over to first. In there safely is Foreman to second, and he heads to third on the bunt. So a sac bunt from Gregory, and the runner TJ Foreman advances from first to third.
And we've seen that a few times in the last 2 days where there just hasn't been someone occupying the base, and TJ Foreman has taken advantage. We saw it yesterday, a wild pitch from Sam Page in the game against the Blues allowed Foreman to advance from second all the way home as Page wasn't covering the bag as the wild pitch forced the catcher to go back and retrieve it. It also allowed for Austin Carrillo to go over to third because no one was covering third base in that time as well. And so again today, no one covering third after the bunt.
Brendan Bobo grounds it to the second baseman Smith. He fires home. The throw. He got TJ Foreman at the plate. We're still tied 1-1.
And right there, Foreman, not the greatest jump, and a good play by Smith at second base in order to go straight home. And Bobo, he did his job. He put the ball in play on the right side, but the infield in, and TJ Foreman, with not the greatest jump, was gunned down at the dish.
So after TJ Foreman started this inning with a walk, Zach Gregory bunted on a hit-and-run situation that advanced TJ Foreman from first to third. First pitch swinging for Brendan Bobo. He grounds it to the second baseman Smith. Smith fired home, and Foreman was out, so two are gone, and Grant Smith takes the first pitch low and inside for a ball. 1-0 the count with a runner on first.
Let's talk a little bit about why Grant Smith is getting his place in the showcase game. And I think it's all to do because of the play that he's had as of late, where he's just swinging the bat incredibly well. Doesn't wow you with power, doesn't wow you with extreme speed, but he fields his position well, whether it be at second, short, or third base as a utility infielder, and he's just hitting for an average that is absolutely ridiculous over the last few games.
The 2-0 pitch, that one misses away. Now 3 straight balls to Grant Smith, and right now, if you're Carson Quintana, you got to be throwing a strike here. You can't walk Grant Smith and put Brendan Bobo in scoring position. Reagan Burford, who pinch ran for Brendan Durfee, he's on deck. As the 3-0 pitch to Smith, he grounds it to under the glove of the third baseman Harris. Heading to third now is Bobo. Heading to second is Smith. And a double for Grant Smith with 2 outs, and now 2 runners are in scoring position here in the bottom of the 7th.
And so Grant Smith, he has had a streak of ever since he was inserted into the leadoff spot, has gotten on twice in every game that he had batted leadoff. Now, even though he's not in the leadoff spot anymore, has now gotten on twice today. Got on with an error in the first and now with a double in the 7th inning. And it's the same spot that we saw Brendan Durfee in the first inning. Bobo on third, Smith on second, and now that 5-hole hitter as Burford comes in to pinch hit for the first time.
So Reagan Burford steps up to the plate for his first plate appearance today. The first pitch to him, a breaking ball in the dirt. 1-0 to Burford. And, you know, our social media intern, Kurt, how do you say his last name?
Shenver.
Kurt Shenver. He's trying to get on the train and call him Reagan Grand Slam Burford.
You know what? I'm not on that hype train.
I'm not on that hype train either. He did hit a grand slam yesterday as the 1-0 pitch misses, the count even 1-1. Shout out to Kurt, though, for all the social media stuff at home. Appreciate his work.
Well, he's not at home. He's right downstairs.
Yeah.
We can say hi to him after the game.
No, I meant at home, like he does the social media stuff at the home games.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
The 1-1, ball in the dirt. Now 2-1 to Reagan Burford. And like we mentioned, Burford, he was the player of the game yesterday after he hit the grand slam that really solidified the game, put the nail in the coffin as the Oaks, they beat the Blues 14-5. It was an impressive performance on the Saturday and wrapped up a 4-1 league play record week as the 2-1 misses inside, and it's now 3-1 to Reagan Burford.
And on deck is Greg Melhoff, and if Burford does get aboard with a walk right here, Melhoff is put into a big spot in his first game.
Quintana, he's set. The pitch to Burford. This one's grounded foul, so full count, 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. Brendan Bobo, he's at third. Grant Smith, he's at second. You can see Grant Smith shake hands with Hayden Smith.
The Smith connection.
The Smith connection. I think there's a little bit of respect. Hello, Mr. Smith. Hello, Mr. Smith.
Well, he's shaking a lot of hands. Smith is a generic last name.
The payoff pitch. Misses outside, gets past the catcher Lawrence. Coming in to score is Bobo, and the Oaks, they take the lead. It's 2-1.
And right there, Brendan Bobo, great job being aware at third base on the ball that got away from the catcher and Lawrence. There's been a little bit of a struggle in throwing strikes early here in the outing for Carson Quintana. And right there, another showing of it. The only 2 called strikes of the entire inning came on that at-bat to Burford, and then that ball away got away from the catcher and was able to score the run. So TJ Foreman getting thrown out at the dish, not as consequential as it seemed when it happened, as a run still able to come around to score in the inning.
So runners on the corners. Greg Melhoff at the plate. The first pitch he sees is high for a ball, 1-0 to Melhoff. So the Oaks, they take the lead. It's 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Cubs, they tied it 1-1 at the top of the 7th inning. And now runners on the corners. Grant Smith on third, Reagan Burford on first. The pitch to Melhoff is in there for a strike. The count even 1-1 to Melhoff. And Melhoff today, it's been a tough go in his day hitting for the Oaks. He's had a great job fielding the ball at the hot corner at third, but today hitting, he's 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts to second and a strikeout. The 1-1 pitch, the runner goes to second, called strike. Burford slides in safely. Coming in to score is Smith from third. The throw sailed high over the second baseman's head and into the outfield for Johnson. But now 2 runs have come in the inning, and into second is Reagan Burford, and that's just plain old baseball strategy, having a runner on first and third, and you send the runner from first.
Yeah, and I don't know why there was a throw down from Lawrence. We saw it earlier where Sandoval was trying to bait a throw on a runners on the corner situation, and he wasn't able to. So now in a bigger spot, throwing it down, it perplexes me.
Pitch misses outside. The count now even 2-2 to Greg Melhoff. So 2 outs, runner on second. 2 runs have come in. The score 3-1. The Oaks, they lead. Quintana, he's set. The 2-2 pitch. Melhoff skies that one high in the air. Shallow center field. Coming in is Johnson. He makes the play, and the inning is over. But the Oaks, they score 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on second in Reagan Burford. We head to the top of the 8th inning. The Oaks, they lead again. It's 3-1. You are listening on the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Top of the 8th inning, the Oaks, they're leading 3-1 after scoring 2 runs in the 7th inning. They tied it, the Coastal Cubs they did, at the top of the 7th. The Oaks, they scored 2 runs to take back the lead. It's 3-1, and a new pitcher on the mound. It's Aiden Garza, the left-hander, as the first pitch from Garza catches the zone, swing and a miss for a strike to Hayden Smith. And Evan Gray, he gave up the run on an error. He threw it over the head of Brendan Bobo. That brought in Taylor Trachtenberg. And And that'll do it for the day for Gray, as this one sent high and deep to right field. Going back at the wall. It's gone. Hayden Smith out of here.
It's actually not Hayden Smith. That's a pinch hitter. That's Decker McNeil.
Decker McNeil, wow. My bad, but still, pinch hitter and gone.
And that ball was crushed.
Yeah.
That ball was absolutely torched.
My apologies to McNeil, but man, a home run on the second pitch he saw from Garza, and it's a one-run game.
So the Oaks are not out of the woods yet. They still need to execute, and Aiden Garza, he needs to come through with a good performance. He's had a few good performances as of late, but it is important for him right here after giving up a leadoff homer to come back into the zone.
First pitch misses low, 1-0, and the 1-0, that one catches the zone, a strike, count even 1-1. So a leadoff home run for the Cubs. It's 3-2 now, and Aiden Garza, he's on the mound. It's his first run given up since his second to last performance, as it's fouled off by Johnson. 1-2. Garza, his last performance, though, was in that 9-0 loss against the Riptide, and that was negotiably his best performance of the year, if not the best performance. I'd actually say it was his best performance. He pitched 3 2/3 innings, only giving up 2 hits and had 6 strikeouts. As this one sent high and deep to left field, chasing his call, he dives. It's going to get down at the track. Heading to second now is Johnson. He stops there, and a double for the Cubs, and a runner in scoring position. And the Cubs, they're in business.
Actually, another pinch hitter, and I didn't interrupt you to say who it was because there are 2 number 13s on the roster sheet. Both of them are position players. That's either Trent Settlemeyer or Chris Alvarado standing at second base right now. And I don't know which one.
I don't know, yeah. The Cubs, they're very confusing. They have multiple players wearing the same number. We see Jordan Harris, he is 11B, meaning that there's an 11A. And we don't know who it is, but he just had a double. And now he's 180 feet away from tying this game. The pitch from Garza in there for a strike. This time it is Brandon Lawrence at the plate, I believe, unless there is another 18.
I believe that's the only 18. I think you're safe on Brandon Lawrence.
I think I'm safe. Brandon Lawrence, it's been a tough inning for me. Back-to-back pinch hitters that we have no idea. Pitch is in there for a strike, 0-2, and you know, I got really confused for Hayden Smith because on our roster sheet, Hayden Smith's listed at 17, but in the game he's listed at number 5. So I was very confused.
Well, that is confusing.
Yeah.
We have no idea who's on any bases.
This one's grounded up the middle. Gregory, the second baseman, fields it, throws over to first. Lawrence is out, but the runner advances to third, and so now the tying run is 90 feet away.
So maybe it was Hayden Smith who had the home run. We have no clue who's on any of the bases for any of the Cubs who's up at any time. The Cubs, they have multiple people with different numbers and apparently are swapping jerseys. They're just making it incredibly difficult on the broadcasters.
The Coastal Cubs not in the CCL.
They're in the GCCL.
The GCCL, as the first pitch from Garza catches the zone, and I believe this is a pinch hitter.
This is Max Porter, if the roster sheet is correct. Porter appeared in the last game that the Cubs came to Conejo.
The 1-0 to Porter, swing and a miss at a pitch high, 0-2 the count, so hopefully Max Porter. 1 out, runner on third. Garza, he's on the mound. Infield is in. The pitch fouled off by Porter, and 0-2 will be done again. Fourth pitch of the at-bat coming up to Porter.
And if this is Max Porter, then the line for him the last time that he played against the Oaks, he went 2 for 5, had a run scored, as well as a double and an RBI with a stolen base attached, but did get out 3 times in the game. So he was successful with a 400 batting average and a short sample size the last time that he came to town.
0-2 the count, 1 out, runner on third. The pitch fouled off. We'll do the 0-2 again. Back-to-back foul-offs by Porter. And Garza, he's going to have to work for this out. A leadoff home run by a miscellaneous player. We don't know who it was.
We believe it's Decker McNeil.
Okay. There's 3 17s listed on the roster. Swing and a miss from Porter. A strikeout for Garza, his first of the day. And that was the 5th pitch that Porter saw. It was foul-tipped. Cody Sulak, the new catcher, he caught it. And now 2 are gone.
And the reason I think that it was Decker McNeil, actually, I don't think it's Decker McNeil anymore. I take that back. Decker McNeil is a pitcher. I read on the beginning that he was not, so it's not a Decker McNeil home run.
So
it is one of the other 17s.
So I think it's Hayden Smith.
It could have been Hayden Smith. He is listed as number 5 on the roster sheet that was given to us. The other potential man that it could be is Jason Siri. He is both a utility player and a pitcher. So whether we see him on the mound or in the field, we will have no idea. So you at home are just as in the dark as we are.
Pitches in there for a strike count, 1-1 to Taylor Trachtenberg, and still trying to figure it out who hit the home run, but we have a runner on third and 2 outs. Aiden Garza, the left-hander, on the mound. It's a 1-run game. The infield playing back now with 2 outs. The 1-1 pitch. This one sent to right field. Foreman going back. He makes the play, and the inning is over. So the Oaks, they just surrender 1 run on the leadoff hitter by who we think is Hayden Smith. Maybe. Who knows? But that'll do it for this top of the 8th inning. 3-2, the Oaks, they lead. Going into the bottom of the 8th inning, we'll regroup and get back to you in the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th inning, new pitcher on the mound for the Cubs. That's Will Crookman, and I think we're finally figuring out who hit that home run as the first pitch to Raul Sandoval misses high, 1-0. And
well, I don't think we. I still don't think we have any.
We have an educated guess. We think it was Jason Siri, who's the third 17 listed. He's a utility player / pitcher on their roster. As the pitch misses outside, 2-0. He's behind the dish. Whoever it is, number 17, he's behind the dish.
Yeah, let's run through all of the changes defensively. There's a new pitcher on the mound. That's Will Crookman. We're pretty sure it's Will Crookman who's in for Carson Quintana on the hill.
The 2-0, that one catches the zone. 2-1 the count to Raul Sandoval.
And so, behind the dish to start the game, it was the catcher Brandon Lawrence. He now moves to second base Now a new person in at catcher, we believe that's the man who hit the home run.
Swing and a miss from Sandoval, and it's now even 2-2.
And our best educated guess for that man is Jason Siri. Moving over to third base is the former first baseman in Moses Dokes. There is a number 11 at first base. They have 2 11s on their roster.
Swing and a miss from Sandoval, a strikeout for Crookman to start, 1 down.
So either Jordan Harris flipped spots with Dokes on the corners, and Harris went from third to first and Dokes went from first to third, or it is a different number 11, but I don't think that is, because Antonio Andrade is the other 11 on the roster, and he's listed on the roster sheet as an outfielder. So what I believe happened is that the corner infielder switched, and we do not know who's in the outfield right now.
Swing and a miss from Cody Sulak, who came in to catch last inning. So at first base you have, is it Miller?
At first base, it is...
Or Morris?
At first base, it is Harris.
What about Zach Morris? Who's
Is that a number 11 at first base?
Yes.
Yes, that's Zach Morris.
Zach Morris. Okay.
My apologies.
Gosh, this team is confusing. The 1-1 pitch to Sulak, swing and a miss.
So they have 3 number 11s. Jordan Harris, who's actually not on our roster sheet but started the game, he is 11B. Antonio Andrade, who played in last time's game the Cubs came to town, he is 11A. And now Zach Morris, who we believe is the current first baseman, he is 11C.
The 1-2 to Sulak, swing and a miss for Sulak. Back-to-back strikeouts to start for Crookman, and 2 are gone. Gosh, I mean, I'm still trying to scramble. Who knows if the outfielders are even correct?
We haven't seen the numbers on the outfielders. We need some binoculars, and we need them to turn around so we can figure it out. In center field, it's number 7. I'm pretty sure that remains the same. Actually, no. It doesn't. Center field's number 7. That's Max Porter, so he pinch hit last inning. He's in dead center.
Pitch into call, misses, 1-0.
And so if you're confused at home, welcome to the club. We are beyond confused.
I'm so perplexed right now. The 1-0, that one misses outside. 2-0 to Hunter Call.
We still don't know who the corner outfielders are. They could be anyone. Someone could have been signed off the street and play left field.
What a game.
And it's still a 1-run ball game.
3-2 the score. Bottom of the 8th inning. Hunter Call at the plate with 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss from Call. And it's now 2-1 from Crookman. Okay, so I think we've gotten everything squared out as best as we can, but we don't know.
We have no idea.
We're just
we
making
have no idea who's playing anywhere. If a ball's hit in play, we will say a last name, and we will hope that it is right.
Pitch is inside to Call, so 3-1 the count. We're just making our best educated guess here, but who knows?
Hunter Call could hit this ball to anyone, and we still would not know who it is unless their name is Seiler or Crookman.
The pitch misses outside. Call a walk. He's going to head to first after a 5-pitch at bat. And now coming up to the plate is the leadoff man, TJ Foreman. And Call, we do know his name and his number. He's at first.
He's at first, and he's had a good day so far. He's reached base 3 out of the 4 times he's come to the plate. 24 is the man that is in right field. That's a new player. So a new right fielder. And there is no 24 on our roster sheet. So we literally have absolutely zero clue who is in right field.
I'm so confused.
I'm so confused. If you're at home, please send a guess for what you think the right fielder's name is, and we'll use it for the rest of the broadcast.
You said 24?
It's 24. There is no 24 on the roster sheet.
So on the lineup sheet, I'm looking at this. It says 24 is Morris, who we had at first base. As Foreman skies this in the air, right field going back is presumably Morris. He makes the play and the inning is over. Regardless, the runner is stranded. We're heading to the 9th inning. The Oaks, they're leading 3-2. We're still confused, and I'm probably sure you are too. You are listening to the Conejo Oaks live stream presented by KDTV. Knight Uretsky with Ryan Milano, top of the 9th inning. We're thinking we're a little bit closer. We think coming up to the plate is number 24.
It's only taken us a few innings, and we're still about 60% sure.
So we believe this is Morris right now as he sends one to left field. Going back is Call. He makes the catch, and presumably Morris is retired to start this inning.
And that's a pinch hitter for Oliver McGibbon, who was in the outfield, now is no longer in the game. And so Morris, he was playing right field. McGibbon started the game at left field, so we don't know who was playing left field last inning.
So now up to the plate, Moses Stokes. He is not being pinch hit for. We know this is Moses Stokes. He's wearing number 25. We've seen him bat, and now he's facing off against Clay Rickerman, who's trying to save this game as it's a 3-2 game as the Oaks, they lead. The pitch from Rickerman is half swung, but is called a strike on the swing. The Dokes 0-1. Man, this has been a confusing last couple of innings trying to solve the Coastal Cubs.
If there's anything we're sure of, it's the man at the plate is Moses Stokes, and the man on the deck is Nick Seiler.
There we go. Pitches in the dirt from Rickerman. The count even 1-1.
So the next two batters will be right. Without a doubt, they will be correct.
We're okay.
Deep breath, we're fine.
We have survived. The 1-1 from Rickerman. This one sent in the air, deep right field. Going back is Foreman, almost to the track. Before the track, he makes the play, and two are gone here in the 9th.
So now one more out for the Oaks to get out of whatever game this has been. Donovan Waitman was phenomenal. He will not get the win. The win right now, I believe, is in Evan Gray's column if Clay Rickerman can get this final out.
So Clay Rickerman, he has 4 saves on the year, going for his 5th save of the season. The first pitch to Seiler misses low, 1-0. And Rickerman, he has 4 straight saves in his last 4 appearances. That was against the Saints, the Barons again, and then the Blues. That was in the 8-5 victory at San Luis Obispo on Friday. The 1-0 in the zone, the count even 1-1 from Rickerman, the closer. And Rickerman goes to Cal Lutheran, playing in his home ballpark. He's been the closer for the Oaks for the 2nd time in his career, as he was also the closer in 2019 as the 1-1 misses outside. 2-1. And Rickerman, he is a really solid pitcher, huge competitor, loves to win, and now looking to get the final out for the Oaks to solidify this 3-2 win. The 2-1 misses low. The count now 3-1 to Nick Seiler.
And Knight, why do they hand us a roster sheet if it's going to be incorrect?
I don't know.
That's my question.
I really don't know.
How do you make an incorrect roster?
The 3-1. That one catches the zone inside. And now the count is full with 2 outs and nobody on.
The Oaks, they're trying to end their week 5-1. So this is a big game for them at the conclusion of a big week. One more strike here, and the Oaks are going to do it.
Seiler lifts this one to left field. Call given chase. Into right center, he makes the left center, and he makes the play, and the game is over. The Oaks, they win this one 3-2 and wrap up a 5-1 week. They're hot, and man, Ryan, what did you see from the Oaks this week?
I mean, the Oaks are hot, and Donovan Waitman is even hotter. He won Player of the Game last time he pitched. He's going to win Player of the Game this time. There's no doubt about it. 6 innings pitched, just 2 total base runners allowed on 2 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts. He faced 20 batters, and he only had 70 pitches throughout the entire game. Just a phenomenal outing for Donovan Waitman. And then offensively, Hunter Call, I think, was the standout on the offensive side of things. We also saw Reagan Burford and Brendan Durfee in that 5-hole combine for a 3-for-4 on base percentage day. DJ Foreman, he got on base. He did well. Grant Smith got on twice. And then Brendan Bobo, he had a solid day. He came around to score once. He had a hit. He had an RBI. So he, as well as a few other Oaks, a team effort offensively and pitching, it was all Donovan Waitman. A good job from Evan Gray, Aiden Garza, and Clay Rickerman to shut him down, allowed 2 runs over their 3 combined innings. But the nod and the win and the praise all belongs to Donovan Waitman.
Donovan Waitman, a beautiful performance today, and the Oaks, they win this one 3-2, improving their record overall on the year to 13-7. They're going to end the first half of the season and head to the All-Star break with an 8-6 record overall in CCL play and 13-7 overall in non-conference and season play as a whole. And it was a very impressive week for the Oaks. They went 5-1, their only loss in Orange County, in a 9-0 loss to the Riptide. It was a fluke loss. They probably are going to compete with the Riptide a little bit more competitively the next time, but this week they were solid, and the Oaks, they're hot.
The Oaks are red hot. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's all.
CCL Showcase game, it's on Wednesday. Go watch it or come out to the MLB Youth Academy in Compton, but that's going to do it for Ryan Milano and Knight Uretsky.
So that'll do it for us. We'll see you guys on Thursday as the Oaks, they travel to play Arroyo Seco in a huge game in the CCL standings. Have a great